Yeah, rock and stone, beer, punish the scout, all that jazz. Looks like we've got another Survivor style game to throw onto the pile. And it's a game. When it comes to auto shooters, my rankings go like this. Rotato, as the very peak of the genre, Bone Razor Minions, and HoloCure. Don't laugh, it's a great game. It's a genre that's so simple and yet has so much potential to mold into something unique. DRGS, or DRGS, does manage to be unique in some ways, but it's bogged down by uninspired upgrades and frustrating design. Not to mention a huge, glaring omission that could have made this game a true first for the genre. I was shocked to find out it didn't have it. One could argue it's the most essential feature of Deep Rock Galactic. No, not getting blackout drunk, it's multiplayer. Just imagine an auto shooter advertised to have multiplayer would have people flocking to the store page to see what's up. 4 players might be too much, but 2? That's gotta be doable. I haven't been this annoyed by a lack of multiplayer since Metal Slug 7 on the DS. Mission Control even points out that you're alone, like making a cannon makes it any less disappointing.
Remember, you're on your own this time. There's no one to carry your body back to the drop pod if you fail.
Well, whatever, I can deal. Let's play. I can't wait to get in here and try engineer. Oh, what the hell? Man, I don't want to play scout. Do I look like a jabroni? Fun day, my dudes, why you doing this to me? In a world where Steam refunds are a thing, I think it's unwise that your first runs are guaranteed to end in failure, since 99% of the upgrades have to be unlocked first. And I'm not talking about the boring stat boosts between runs, the boosts that most players are just going to select whatever they can afford and move on. I'm talking about the upgrades that make each run unique, like overclocks, weapons, and artifacts. The starting pool of artifacts is so uninspired and so inconsequential that it kinda upsets me. Gain XP when you take damage, a chance to find gold, nitra, or XP when mining, increased healing granted upon leveling up. These don't change the way anybody plays at all. Say there was an artifact that doubles all weapon damage boosts taken from that point on in a run. Okay, now that actually influences player choice. Or how about gaining a stacking buff while mining that increases your weapon fire rate? Every driller would jump at the chance for that. These artifacts, they're so wishy-washy. It's like Funday didn't want them to be too impactful. Meanwhile, I've gotten a single relic in Monster Train that completely changed how I built my deck. And because I was savvy enough to realize the potential and capitalize on it, that became a god run. Different genre, but same concept. An artifact that increases my max HP by 2 whenever I heal with red sugar, that's doing the bare minimum to change the way I play. Now, slightly nerfing a weapon and giving it to Bosco so I can focus on other stuff and open up a slot for another weapon? Now that's a substantial gameplay change and an interesting player choice. And if there are game-changing artifacts that I just haven't unlocked yet, too little too late, because I played for 8 hours and that's really all I can stand for now. I can see what DRGS is trying to be. In Vampire Survivor, your only incentive to explore the map is upgrades way off in the distance, which is weak design. If it weren't for those upgrades, you could just walk around in a circle, or with the right build, stand still for 30 minutes. Riveting. DRGS gives you a lot to do. Mining for gold, nitra, and minerals, fulfilling secondary objectives, clearing the way for supply drops, which having it one-shot most enemies is a unique and satisfying mechanic. Just one thing, make the damage radius bigger please. It would be 10 times more satisfying if it cleared out everything in range. This is what sets DRGS apart from other Survivor games. Stuff that you desperately want, and an unrelenting horde of bugs keeping you from getting to it. Which makes me feel like maybe this game just isn't for me. Because goddammit, I'm getting these minerals, I don't care how many bugs are biting my ass. A magnet pickup in the middle of a horde is a death sentence for people like me. I'm like a moth to the flame, which is ironic considering they're the bugs. Serious question. If there was a single button press command for every character, like a shield generator for the gunner, a grapple hook dodge on the scout, or a C4 charge on the driller, would anybody be whining that this isn't a real auto shooter? Funday, it's okay to iterate on the base design. You don't have to adhere so rigidly to established genre mechanics. Bone Razor Minions gives you a dodge and a super dash, both on the same button, and HoloCure gives every character a unique special attack on a meter. Giving the player more input is never a bad thing. Hell, I'd be happy with just being able to throw flares, because for the love of Christ, I can't see a damn thing in these caves. Danger, darkness, dead. Here's some other things I'd change. It's really easy to die, especially when beating feet to the drop pod, so give Bosco a couple of revives like in DRG. You know, one of the few benefits of going solo in that game? That would go a long way towards making the final dreadnought feel less like bullshit. Make supply drops heal you. Change the goblin mouth drop pod so that I just have to get within a certain radius to enter, because if I die to bugs right at the entrance one more time, I'm going to scream. That's the simple fix. The fun fix would be outfitting it with a few turrets or flamethrowers that help clear your path and give a nice pile of XP to pick up on the way in. I would also up weapon damage pretty much across the board. I've lost count of how many times I've had a new swarm spawn when I'm still dealing with the first one. It's like, damn, where's my union mandated 5-second break? And this is just a personal thing, but I'd really like to see some new takes on hoxxes. Something original to separate DRGs from DRG, like quote-unquote punishing dwarves that slay all loot bugs on sight by spawning a giga loot bug that chases down the player. Or how about a 5th completely original character? It's just a thought. Right now, DRGs is like a geode. Hidden beneath the rough, crusty exterior is a gem waiting to get out, and it's gonna take some work and finesse to reach it. It's currently in early access, so it's clear that Funday wants to hear what the community has to say. They seem to have some good heads on their shoulders, so who knows? Maybe I'll be revisiting this in a much improved state one day. But for now, sorry DRGs, you don't get the song and dance treatment. Please leave a like if you do indeed like what I'm doing, and I'll see you next time. Forgot my pickaxe.